Hey, it's Brook Hoover. How you doing? You guys probably hear about the CAGED system, C-A-G-E-D, CAGED, and it's a really good system. It can be a little overwhelming. I'm not saying you can't handle it, but let's start with of that. What that really means is these shapes C, A, G, E, and D. Everything can be traced back to those five shapes. That's C, A, G, E, and D. Totally cool. It is correct. You can usually find one of those chords in the structure of any chord. And also scales, arpeggios, and everything else kind of conforms to those shapes. Some of them are pretty nasty to move up the neck as far as exactly what we're saying the cage system is, but there's ways around that. That's all fine and dandy, but let's do the main chord, I think, that you're going to use. It's going to be the E shape. I keep hitting that part of my desk. Maybe I'll move over here. Much better. All right, let's take an E shape. And here's something kind of fun to do. Take it up one fret and hit it slow. And one more fret. That's pretty cool. You find a lot of good stuff up there. It's pretty amazing. That's one way to think of the caged system. That was just an E shape going up the neck. It's pretty cool. Good party trick. But, so let's take that E chord. I'm going to flip it a little bit. I'm going to, instead of have index, middle, ring, I'm going to leave index out and reform it with middle, ring, pinky. Index is out. And the reason I do that, it's the same notes, same sound. But when you get up to, say, 6th and 7th frets, you can add your index. So you might already know those chords, but that's really the most common. If somebody says rock and roll key of B, 1, 2, ready, go, that's kind of where you go. So you really have to have these at your fingertips, even if you kind of know them or can play them a little bit, great. But you really have to be, it's kind of like the Wild West. You have to ready, draw, fast. So that E shape, you can remember how E turns into E minor or E7. Say we're going to do a G bar chord here. E shape, 3rd fret, bar. Drop off your middle finger, you got a minor. You might lay it flat here or let it be up here. Minor and major. And you have to be pretty quick with that. I mean, don't rush, but I'm not saying play fast. I'm saying repeat this until you can play it without thinking. G major, G minor. Now, let's drop off the pinky, and you got a G7, which is also major. So this is G major, G7, and G minor. Just for bonus, let's do G minor 7. Check it out. So that's got the quality of that 7th chord, only it's minor. And those are all based on like E, E7, or E minor, or E minor 7. That's kind of how caged works. So you're going to take E chords, move them up the neck. So if you did those chords, if you combine some of those chords, you could do something like like Stray Cat strut from the Stray Cat. So that's like a C minor 7 to a B flat 7, A flat 7, G7. So the first one's minor, and these are major, but they're dominant 7. So they have a major quality, but the dominant 7 kind of extension. That's one fun way. So I'm not even doing the other 5 shapes, but the E shape, to me, I like to start with E because you've got 2 E's on the guitar, and when your pick comes down, the first string it hits is the 6th string, so that's your root, and your main, rock and roll, big blues, heavy metal chord is E. It's just got a big, wide, awesome sound. So consider that, and maybe memorize those. So you wanna know E flat 7 and G flat minor 7 or C sharp major. You want to know them all without any big hesitation. So again, don't stress out and don't play fast. Just repeat and commit yourself to memorizing those. 11th fret is E flat, and 6th fret is B flat, and all that good stuff. 7th fret is B, and that's the root, and you're going to build that shape on the root. That's really how it works. I don't know. Sometimes as a teacher, I see people. I'll tell people about that, but they don't really go for it. And that's okay, but I wish they would, because then they would be able to enjoy their guitar a lot more and understand how stuff works. Probably learn stuff by ear a lot quicker. So I understand resisting any sort of system or teaching or anything a teacher asks you to do. I always did the opposite, pretty much, but somehow they didn't kill me, but they probably should have. But now I became the teacher. So I'm asking you to memorize your roots, memorize your shapes. Start with your E shape. It's probably the best one for, bang for your buck. And then maybe we'll jump over to, remember, we're going to do C, A, G, E, D shapes. In my opinion, E is the first one to do. The next one, I would recommend doing the A shape. So I'll do a different video about the A shapes. All right, please subscribe, and I like hearing from you. If you want to leave me a comment, thumbs up is cool too.